So you want to be a minimalist, and even more than that, you want to bring your family along with you. I love that because I have been there and I wanted to do the same thing. My husband Abdel and I have 3 kids, a 9.5-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 2.5-year-old, and we have been on this journey to family minimalism for a number of years. Honestly, there have been some ups and downs in our journey, but it's really been in the past 3 or 4 months that I have really recommitted to this and really focused on making this happen for us. In the process, I think I've learned a lot about how minimalism works in a family and why it works the way it does. And I'm grateful for this moment to share with you how I think a new family to this should get started. Number one, the number one step. This might seem pretty basic, but number one is just start this project when you're in a good mood. I have done this both ways. I have started decluttering projects being really frustrated. But what I realize is that when I have done that, then the experience is frustrating. And as I'm trying to bring my family into this journey, I realize it cannot be a frustrating experience for us or for them because it starts to feel like disappointment. And family minimalism should not feel like disappointment. It should not feel like a punishment. It should not be in response to one person in the family's feelings. It is really about figuring out how the family as a unit can invest in the relationships and invest in a great use of the space and the time that they have. So it works so much better when I'm in a good mood, when I can frame the decluttering as an opportunity, as a moment where we can invest in doing something great and meaningful. Those are the moments that have just been so much better. And I have seen members of my family be more interested in the work when it is framed like that. Step number 2 is to create a vision for what you are doing and a vision for why you are doing this. In my experience, when my vision is clear and specific, when I can tell the members of my family, this is why I want to declutter this space, this is what I hope we can do with this space in the future, then it is so much more possible for other members to understand what I'm talking about and to see value in what I'm talking about. Of course, though, all right? These are all individuals. We are a family, but we are all individuals. And sometimes the vision that I share does not connect with other people, and sometimes it does not make sense to them or it doesn't seem valuable to them, and that's okay. They are all, having their own experiences. What I know though, and just the way the world works, is that just because someone doesn't see the value in your vision does not mean that the vision is unvaluable. It just means that they don't get it yet. So what you need to do, what my advice is, and what has kind of helped to push me through this, is that you just keep going. You just keep going through the 5 steps, and you just continue to share your vision as you're doing the work. In my experience, if you can continue to share your vision, hey y'all, this is why I'm doing this, and you continue to do the work, then at some point, someone in your family will see the connection, and they will see that as a family, you all are experiencing that space differently, and you are living towards this vision that was shared earlier because of the work that you are doing. Someone will see that, and they will make the connection. I cannot say exactly how long that will take for someone to notice, but in my experience, at some point somebody will notice, and that will just open things up, and that will feel so good. Step number 3 is to choose a space. All right, I feel like there's a lot of conversation about so where should you start and what's the most important room to declutter. And in my experience, if your living room is overwhelming, if your kitchen is full of stuff and you choose to start in the living room, the stuff in the kitchen will still be there tomorrow. So in that regard, it does not super duper matter where you start. The only thing that matters is where are you going to feel successful, and where are members of your family going to see a change in a way that they can understand that minimalism is worth investing in. So what I would encourage you to do is choose a very small and specific place, a place that you can kind of see the project through beginning to end, maybe in one sitting, and just immediately feel a difference in your home. Even if it's one drawer, if it's one little part of your toy storage, wherever you keep your toys, maybe it's one space in there. Just one small and specific spot that you can see beginning to end, and people in your family can see oh, that is nice. Oh, I do like that. Oh, I could find the scissors. That's amazing. I couldn't find the scissors before. just something really little that will just give you a moment, a feeling of success and the motivation to keep going. Now you need to get the stuff out of your home. In the beginning, I think there are 4 pretty decent options. You can sell things, you can trash things, you can donate things, or you can just set them aside. I think in terms of like bringing your family into this, everyone's going to be on a different pace with this, and not everybody's going to be ready to get rid of things or release things at the same moment. So in the past, I have found some good success with, okay, let's clear out the stuff from your room. And if you're not ready to get rid of it, that's okay. We'll just set it in the basement. We'll set it in the garage. We'll set it in whatever storage space we have at that time. And then we can just experience this room as decluttered. That's one of the most important things, is just giving people a chance to experience what a minimalist lifestyle can give to them, even if they are not ready to let things go. Of course, then it's helpful to reflect on it and say, how does your room feel now? How does it feel? Does it feel different? Do you use it differently? I've noticed you've been able to use it differently. And then, in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, however long, then you go back to the stuff that's in the basement and say, all right, so do you want to bring it back up and put it in your room, or are you ready to let it go? Hopefully you've reflected enough on that people are ready to let it go. But we have to acknowledge that when we're doing this with a family, people are all on their own journeys, and it won't necessarily happen on our one timeline. And in my experience, the more open and flexible I can be about that, the more likely it is that in the next go around, people will be interested in trying it again. My last suggestion on how to become a minimalist family, a family who is experiencing minimalism, and honestly the part that I have really struggled with in the past, is coming up with a plan for how and when things will re-enter the space. One thing that has been really helpful, at the beginning of the year, I came up with a list of 10 things I am not buying this year. And that has been so helpful because that list was based on a lot of spaces that I, had recently spent a lot of time really decluttering and trying to clear the stuff out. Writing out a list of just like really specific items out. For me, it was a whole year, but it might be 6 months or 3 months or 1 month, whatever you want to start with. This amount of time, I am not going to buy it. Okay, so that's my list. 5 steps to becoming a minimalist family, based on my own experience of things I have done that have, really worked for us. If you're working on any kind of family minimalist projects this week, I wish you a lot of luck. I hope it goes really well. We're going to be doing some more decluttering in my home this week that I am really excited about. So I wish my family a lot of luck too. In the meantime, though, let's meet here again soon in our simplified home, where we can continue to talk about family minimalism and simplifying and all that really cool stuff. All right, take care. Bye.